In this video, we're going to show you some of the functionality that Tableau has to offer. We'll discuss 5 useful tips that will help you interact with the dashboard, kind of make sense of some of the data that's here, and get you headed in the right direction. So the 5 tips that we're going to cover are filtering, tool tips, remembering your changes, exporting the data, and subscriptions. So we're going to use this lead metrics dashboard just as an example. So I'm going to give you just a quick overview of the layout of this, and then we can get started. So over here we can see in this chart, it's a trending chart to show volume by week. Up here we have the active leads associated to this as well. And then we have the number of disqualified. Down here we just have the lead age, how long they've kind of been sitting in a status not touched. And down at the bottom we just have kind of like a tabular view, kind of an Excel view of all this underlying data that is populating these graphs overhead. So let's get started first. So we have filtering. So Tableau has 2 types of filters. They have quick filters that we can see, on this along the side over here. These are pretty self-explanatory. You can just kind of click right into here, make whatever selections you would like, hit apply, and the dashboard will update with your selections. These filters actually do learn from each other a little bit. And what I mean by that, so say for example I take off on premise, so all I want to see is specific related data. Then next time when I click into my product line, notice that the products I see here are only those related to Pacific. So it can just kind of guide you in the right direction as far as when you're making your selections. The other type of filters that they have are called action filters. And these filters aren't really shown on the screen like these ones. They're kind of built into these graphs. So you can see here, if I click this mark, this 2600 right here, if I click that, basically all these other graphs will update now to show me just what is in this mark right here. So all this data will reflect that. And you can kind of build off of this. So now from here, if I see, okay, there's 480 attempted contacts, well, let me see the age of those 480 that were attempted at contact. So I can click that now, and now I can see the age of those. And then if I said, okay, there's 8 that are 91 plus days, so I want to take an action item and I want to clean those up, or I want to give those guys a call. So now I can see those 8 down here that populated. And from here, notice that lead and contact ID are underlined. So what I can do here is I can click on this, and it brings up this little menu, and I can link to Salesforce. So this will actually open up the exact record in Salesforce pertaining to that record. Pertain to that lead. So to clear these action filters, you can either click on the filters themselves, and it will just kind of reverse, or you're also able to just hit escape, and escape will kind of clear the action filters just the same. Now I'm going to discuss quickly just tool tips. So tool tips are simply when you hover over a mark, it will give you some underlying information that we have kind of called out. So here we can see, it shows you the number of changed, the raw number that has changed from previous week, along with a percentage, gives you the number of unique lead IDs that are in there. Each mark has different tool tips. Some don't have any, some have similar ones. So it's really just on a case-by-case basis how we decide these tool tips. And another cool feature that Tableau has to offer is this remembering my changes up here. So let's say that you wanted to come in and for whatever reason, you're responsible for Americas and you just want to see OpenEdge for Americas. So you can make your selections, and instead of having to come in and do that every single time when you want to look at this dashboard, you can come up here, just click Remember My Changes, put in a name, just to name your view, hit Remember, and it will save that view the next time you log in. So the next time you come in, you'll see the name that you're calling it up here, and you'll know that that's a custom view that you have saved for yourself. Tableau also offers subscriptions, so you can subscribe to this dashboard, choose the frequency that you want to get an email sent to your inbox. So you just choose that, hit subscribe, and Tableau will send an email to you letting you know that this dashboard is ready to be viewed. The final thing I'm going to cover is just exporting the data. So if you wanted to export all of the underlying data that's under here, you can click this little arrow and hit crosstab. And regardless of the filters that you have on, this crosstab is going to export everything. You can also have this data option, which is has a little bit more flexibility. So let's say I click on this chart appeared. If you notice that I have this little bar, this light outline around here that's letting me know that this is selected. So if I click over here, notice that now I have this box around here letting me know that this is selected. So now if I hit export, then hit data, all I'm going to export is the data that's in this graph. So if you make all your your selections and you get to a subset of data that, okay, this is the data now that I'm interested in, you can then export just that set of information and kind of be a little bit more focused approach. It exports it as a CSV file, so it's nothing, Excel can handle it very easily. It opens right up. It's pretty straightforward. So that will do it for today's little training session, and thank you for listening.